100 Days of Gratitude, day 21. And today I am grateful for time freedom. Now, I was thinking on this topic and I was going to say routine, but it's not routine. It's not lack of routine. I think the analogy is if time freedom was a coin, on one side you'd have routine, the other side you'd have lack of routine. And it's a beautiful Wednesday morning. It's minus 23 and I'm actually sweating. I mean, I am way too bundled. Check this out. I've got multiple layers of wool on and it's a slog. Where they cleared the path, I was able to whip down on my bike, but now I'm just kind of slogging it through the snow, pushing my bike, pushing my steed. And I used to live in Arizona in the desert for about a year and a half, and I kept in touch with a few folks from down there. And I remember when the whole kind of like Wim Hof cold training appeared on the scene, I would see those guys down there. They'd be doing like, you know, getting little buckets of ice and putting their hands in there and their feet in there and their face in there as like the best thing, just to kind of cold exposure training. And currently how I feel is it's a hot day in the desert and I'm just doing an ice bath with my face because everything, I'm sweating except for my face is a little chilly. So yeah, feels good. Anyways, time freedom. The fact that I can just kind of mosey along, trudge my way through the snow as I get to work. I realized I should have cross-country skied. That would have been the smarter choice, but hopefully it's a little easier going home. Now, when I was younger, just kind of mapping out, visioning, trying to manifest my ideal perfect life. In addition to financial freedom being on that list, I wanted time freedom as well. And often the two are very connected. And though I cannot buy myself a yacht, no, I don't want yachts, but you know what I mean in terms of like financial abundance, certainly not at that level by any stretch of the imagination, but to the point of having that time freedom. And absolutely love that, really cherish it. And like I mentioned, part of me, I think a lot of it stems from being forced into government schools and just on this like time schedule. Like junior high was the worst. Just the time of your life, you're going through a lot, it changes, and it was way earlier than I was used to, certainly earlier than elementary school, getting up, having to go to school, just feeling tired all the time. And yeah, that Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 kind of reality was coming out of school, something that I did not want for myself. So how could I, create a life that I wasn't bound to that? And for a while, it was basically just a drop out of the system. And, I would take jobs occasionally, but otherwise just kind of hitchhiking, a little bit freer on my own time, my own clock. And then creating my own business has been the kind of the ticket since then. But that being said, it's not time freedom just to be lazy and do nothing. I think one of the things about creating your own schedule is you got to be willing to work, have that discipline to focus. And I think that's why I like time freedom. It's in my control. I'm choosing rather than being forced to. And I actually love equally. And that's why I couldn't put it down to like routine. It's like, I always thought I didn't want a routine. I wanted that freedom, just like every day is spontaneous, up to my choosing, the when, the what, all that stuff. But I've really come to value routine and the benefit that it provides me. And so an example of a great routine is Monday to Friday. I get up and with my daughter, when she goes to school, and that's been on and off over the last couple of years. And honestly, it's been the best thing about her schooling, going to public school. When we homeschooled, she didn't have that same routine where, get up, tea, breakfast, and then walk down the hill together. So I'm kind of at my best doing these videos, keeping up everything when we're in that routine. And I love the routine of it, actually. Funny enough. Yeah, so it's not only the time together, but just that flow, having a rhythm to one's day. And I think as humans, there's a real benefit to routines, and maybe the term rhythm could actually be something a little bit more resonant. So as much as I love routine, I also love being able to break routine. So it's all about that choice, that ability to choose and kind of steer my own day. So yeah, and having that fluctuation. So whew, I really am sweating. I gotta take some layers off. Maybe it's time for a river dip, eh? Anyways, 100 Days of Gratitude, day 21. It's been 3 weeks already, and reflecting on time freedom.